play these amazing Final Fantasy games on Roblox. Hey guys, welcome back to Shredblocks. Final Fantasy series are among the most popular gaming series in the world. These games have been on video game consoles for quite a long time. There are many people who play the game dutifully because they are hardcore fans. If you're one of those fans and play Roblox, good news for you because you can play some of these amazing Final Fantasy games on the platform. Stay tuned. Before we start with the video, however, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications and updates. That way you never miss another video. With that said, let's jump straight into today's video. Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VI is a Final Fantasy roleplay game with a lot of elements of an RPG game like fighting and grinding. The game also has zombies for some reason, and your goal is to kill these zombies using various weapons. You can either use a staff or a sword. The game also has a system of leveling up, and you need to get some gear in order to level up. You can earn gold in the game by winning battles, which you can use to purchase items from the in-game store. The game is simple: farm, grind, level up, and buy new stuff to get stronger. The staff you use in the game allows you to cast spells, and as for the sword, you can just fight with these. You can also purchase armor to increase your protection from attacks. The game also has various zones, but you'll need to reach a certain level in order to access them. It's one of the best Final Fantasy roleplay games, so do check it out. Final Fantasy Roblox Edition. Final Fantasy Roblox Edition is an RPG game. This game involves you slashing monsters all over the map. Purge the land of all evil that has been plaguing it. Level up, defeat your enemies, and flex on loaders with the battle theme song. This game is quite generic since it's just a free roam fighting game, but since it's a Final Fantasy game, it doesn't matter. The game gives you access to a lantern, sword, and a bow with limited arrows. Explore the map with a unique environmental design. If you love these series, do check this game out. Final Fantasy VII Roleplay. Final Fantasy VII Roleplay, as you can guess, is a role-playing Final Fantasy game. This game is a pretty relaxing game with 0 objectives and tasks to complete and involves full-fledged roleplay. This game might seem boring due to its roleplay, which is the main feature, and some players might not like the game. However, you can morph yourself into any character you want from the Final Fantasy series. You can morph yourself into Cloud Strife, Sephiroth, Zack, Aerith, Tifa, Genesis, and many more. The game is set in Midgar, the setting for the Final Fantasy VII game. You can relive the memories of where Aerith was stabbed and killed. Explore the church, Northern Cave, Seventh Heaven, and the entirety of Midgar South. The map is pretty detailed with plenty of Final Fantasy references. Final Fantasy World. Final Fantasy World is a testing game allowing you to test all the major weapons in the franchise. This is also a free roam fighting game and is built based on the Final Fantasy franchise. In the game, you'll be spawning in a terrible base plate with a bridge or on another terrain base plate. The entire map covers the fighting area. This is a fighting game where you'll be killing other players. There are morphs in the game too. You can morph yourself into Cloud Strife. Go play this amazing game. Final Fantasy. This is an endless fighting game where you're going to be fighting zombies and goblins everywhere. You can be using a bazooka, bow, sniper rifle, and 2 magical swords. The game has a lot of hostile NPCs all over the map, but there are big zombies as well. Fight the king and the boss in the final boss battle. You need to be careful. Final Fantasy Last War. Final Fantasy Last War is a fighting game where you can morph into one of the 5 major characters in the series: Van, Tidus, Squall, Cloud, and Bash. This is an endless fighting game where you're going to be fighting zombies and goblins everywhere you go. You can use a bazooka, bow, sniper rifle, and 2 magical swords. The NPCs are hostile, but wait till you fight the bosses and the king. Keep an eye out for threats. Final Fantasy VII Obby. Final Fantasy VII is basically a Final Fantasy obby game where you'll be fighting with other players in an obby. The game is Final Fantasy themed, and although it doesn't have too much to offer, you might still love this game thanks to the fighting aspect with the obby game. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Go check it out. These were the 7 best Final Fantasy games to play on Roblox. There's everything from an RPG to a fighting obby. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.